so I'm back. I'm here today to talk to you about your second lesson of anime and being an otaku. And your second lesson is going to be a little bit longer, but it is a little important. And that is, what is a convention and what is cosplay? So part one of this is, what is a convention? Anime conventions are all over America. They're all over Japan. They're all over a lot of different countries. That it's basically like a Comic-Con or a comic convention. You go there with a bunch of different people and you go to celebrate animes and different animes that people like, manga, video games, and while you're there at said location, the biggest thing you're gonna see is people cosplaying. Now, a lot of people get confused on what cosplaying is, and it's actually really, really simple. It's literally costume playing. So it's just cosplaying. Put those things together and make something. So cosplaying is just costuming, basically, to look like a manga or anime character of some kind in some form. And it consists of a lot of different parts, like makeup, sewing sometimes, building armor and things like that, depending on what kind of cosplayer you are. But cosplay is really competitive in the anime community, unfortunately, and a lot of people get super bent out of shape about different kinds of cosplay and different kinds of cosplayers. So it's kind of sketchy in that way, but at the same time, my view on it is cosplay is awesome, it's fun, everybody should try it at least once, and there is kind of a stigma a lot of the times in cosplay about people who buy cosplay. Why? Some people just don't know how to sew. Like, I know how to sew. That's fine, but if you don't know how to sew, then buy a cosplay. Why not? Just make sure it fits you. If it fits you and you're comfortable, go for it, fam. Don't let them stop you. But cosplay is this interesting thing because a lot of people get very confused about characters and who characters are. So I'm going to teach you different parts about cosplay. And there are different types of cosplayers in the anime community. Biggest pet peeve about cosplayers is one, obviously, that they are really competitive and snotty with each other. Why, guys? Just why? Also, to people who don't put any heart into cosplay, I'm not even gonna touch on the whole overweight cosplayers or different race cos. That's just really, really stupid. I don't see why people can not cosplay because they don't have the exact shape of an anime character. If you go off of that, nobody can cosplay because anime characters have unrealistic body proportions. So that argument is just entirely invalid. And then also, if you go off the race card, everybody that cosplays should be Asian. Because anime characters are, the majority of the time, supposed to be Asian. So, yeah, there would probably not be any sort of American cosplayers unless they were doing, say, an English or an American character in a show. So, that out of the way, what are the aspects of cosplaying that bug me that people don't do? It's not even, if you're not good at sewing yet and your cosplay is maybe, in my eyes, poorly put together, I'm not gonna say anything to you about that. If you're learning to sew, good for you. I mean, go for it. Learn to sew, learn to do the makeup, watch the tutorials, do whatever you want. If you really put that effort into cosplay, then I will have absolutely nothing to say to you. I will be applauding you in the corner. But what bothers me, and this is one of the only things that bothers me about cosplayers, is a lot of them will just throw something together the night before and they'll call it a cosplay. I love you all, but putting a wig on getting your makeup done and wearing a bikini and claiming that you are a character in the beach episode cliche. That's not okay. Fine. Okay. That just bothers me. Okay? I understand, like, a lot of characters have different forms, but unless you are wearing the bikini that they wore in that exact episode or an exact replica of it, I will not accept that answer. Unless it is that little black and white striped bikini, no. That's not that cosplay. Don't even come at me. But that's the only thing that bothers me about cosplaying in general. But, big but here, there are a lot of different things that irk a lot of cosplayers. I'm not even going to get into those, because you don't need that negativity yet. And if someone comes up to you and tries to, like, bash your cosplay and say it sucks, and I give you full permission to, not physically, but, like, verbally lash out at them and just be like, well, fuck you too. Because that's the biggest thing about the cosplay community that scares people off from it. And you'll learn this quickly if you're getting into anime, is that cosplayers are vicious. I understand professional cosplayers who get paid for their job. They actually get paid money to cosplay certain characters and go to photo shoots and things. That's understandable that their cosplay is supposed to be like a level above the rest of us. But for people who are just getting into cosplay, or they're just learning about sewing, or they're just learning about a show so they, you know, buy a shiny wig or some crazy mistake like that, and somebody like bashes them and rips into them, that's just gonna make them not want to ever cosplay again. And it's gonna make it no fun for everyone. And that's just rude. That's like not giving tips to your waiters. That is also rude. Tip your waiters, kids. So, when you get into cosplay, you're gonna realize a couple of things. And I'm gonna teach you these things now. Step 1 is makeup. A lot of people make this mistake of not wearing any makeup when they're cosplaying. Now, if you don't wear makeup, that's fine. I am not gonna go, you have to wear makeup to cosplay. No, but if you're into the whole getting the total look, little rainbow above here, watch makeup tutorials on how to do the different looks and really work on that. Practice. There's never a problem with like practicing anime makeup styles or fixing your wigs. Practice different ways you can style a wig. Number 2, I just said it. Get into wigs. I'm not a big fan of wigs. I prefer, if I can, I'll do characters that have my natural hair color, or I'll try to do characters that I can spray my hair that have a similar hairstyle, where I can just like spray my hair that color. But wigs are important, and one of the biggest things about wigs is if anything in your cosplay you don't want to get on sale or you don't want to get cheap, it's that. Buy yourself nice wigs. Splurge. Save the money. Get into this. You got this. Number 3 is contacts. You may notice that some people don't do contacts, other people do. That's more of a comfort thing. If you're uncomfortable wearing contacts or touching your eye or whatever, then you don't have to wear contacts. Nobody's gonna be like, well, your entire armor is just shit because you don't wear contacts that make your eyes green. No. If someone does that to you, just, once again, I give you full permission to just be like, what? Go home. So, contacts are cool. They can be really cool. My biggest thing for you for contacts, though, if you are comfortable wearing contacts, is don't get yourself all riled up about getting the perfect looking contact. Once again, anime is not realistic. If you've got the eye color, go with it. And try to find things that are on sale. Number 3, sewing versus buying. I already kind of covered this. If you want to, I always think that homemade cosplays tend to look better on people because they are made specifically for that person. But if you don't know how to sew and you just don't feel comfortable learning how to sew, go ahead and just look it up online, go to Amazon, buy either the pieces or the full set for that cosplay, and you'll be set. On the other half of that, if you do feel comfortable learning to sew, I suggest, just as a life tip from someone that loves to sew and that sews a lot and that designs clothes and cosplays and so on and so forth, sewing is an amazing skill to learn, no matter what. It saves you money, 1. 2, you can make your own clothes, which you look like 10 times cooler than the other kids when you go, yeah, guess where I got this? I didn't. So that aspect of it is really cool. Just learning to sew is just an overall good life skill, life tip. And once again, don't worry about if it's not put together well on your first time, or you're not good with hems yet, or whatever. Don't be scared of that. You don't have to worry. Alright, I will congratulate you for the effort that you put into this. That's what I'm looking at when I look at cosplays. It's like, how much did you actually try with this? If I can see the stitches and I can see how much time was put into like collecting the pieces or putting the pieces together for this cosplay, my mind will be blown, okay? Because I'm poor and I can't afford to do that. Number 3. Am I on 3? Am I on 4? I don't know. I'm not counting anymore. Probably the biggest thing with this is don't worry about your body type. Okay, if your anime character is like super short, you don't have to worry about it, okay? Just go ahead and do it anyway. If you're super tall and you want to do a short character because you're a tsundere and, you know, why not? Then do it. I mean, go ahead. Feel free. Or maybe if you feel like you're too short to do a character, don't worry about it. We'll put you on stilts. It's fine. Whatever. And probably the final thing I want to say about cosplaying is when you get to a convention, the real thing that makes all this cosplaying and all this work putting into getting the outfit together and putting the makeup on and doing the wig or doing your hair and all of this and putting it all together is character. When you get there and you get in the costume, don't just walk around like yourself. You get to be that person for the day. Bruh. Relish it. If you feel like you're not good at acting, don't even worry about it. If your acting is horrible, we'll forgive you. If your accent is bad, I mean, come on. Let's face it, all of our accents are bad. It's just our thing. You don't even want to hear some of mine. But when you get there and you do this character and you love this character, you know them. Okay, you've watched the show, you know their character, so get into it and become the character. And don't just sit back and say, oh yeah, I made this cosplay, I look really cool. If you're a tsundere, be tsundere, okay? Do it. And then when you get to your convention, final thing, I'm just gonna wrap it up with this. Don't worry. At that point, when you get there to your convention, or maybe it's your first convention, or your second, or you've been to conventions many, many times, I can tell you, once you get there, the best thing for you to do is just to enjoy it. When you get in your cosplay and you go around, people might ask you for pictures. Always say yeah, that's great, that's awesome, publicity for me. Don't even worry about anything else. Once you get there, just have fun with it. Okay, maybe something goes wrong, that's okay, but have fun. And with that, I'll let you go. So there's your lesson number 2 about conventions and cosplay. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night. Bye!